Okay, y'all, a couple gloomy days here, man. We had a fire at the Fernandez factory last week, or no, it was at Monday, and then these tariffs. And I want to talk about the tariffs today. I saw one article written on Half Wheel. Shout out to Half Wheel for actually doing the math, although I think Charlie and I went back and forth. The math is wrong. It's assuming a $1 import price. Cigars don't cost $1, people. Okay, so the math that I'm doing is going to see a lot of your favorite cigar brands out of Nicaragua going up by about $2, sometimes $2.50, somewhere in that range, and from Dominican Republic, $1.50-ish. That's what I'm seeing now. I don't know how brands are going to handle this. I don't know who's going to raise prices, who already had enough margin built into their price to where they may not have to raise prices, although I'm sure they will. The bottom line is, if these tariffs stick around, which who knows if they will, it's going to raise the price on cigars. So I want to bring something to our industry's attention here. And I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass. I represent my consumers, which is a pretty large chunk of maybe even a small chunk of cigar consumers, but I represent my people. And I can tell you that as a consumer myself, a consumer at heart, we can maybe get around some of these price increases by, and I don't want to be the enemy, but dude, what's with the wood boxes? I think it's time to take a hard look at how we're packaging cigars and the wasteful stuff that we're using. We're literally hardwood. Some of these wood boxes are made in a furniture grade, there are some companies out there that make boxes that they're made as well as most furniture today. Why are we doing this? They're getting thrown away 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they're getting thrown away. I think this is a great opportunity, whether the tariffs stick around or not, to rethink the way we're packaging cigars. I hate to sound like a progressive. I know this industry hates all that. Someone looking for progress is immediately, thrown in this liberal category, which is such BS. But it's time to start looking at the waste and how to make things more sustainable. And if a $2 increase in the cigar price can be offset by $1 by not having wooden boxes, maybe that's a great time to look into hard paper boxes like we use. And I'm even looking into other stuff. So I'm just saying right now is a great time to rethink the way we're doing stuff. As far as the tariffs go, there's nothing that if they stick, this is what it is. If they don't stick, then hey, I still see a bunch of brands raising their prices. I see the market slowing down. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for a lot of people. I'm already getting the calls. Some of the factories are getting desperate. And I want to talk about that real quick. The factories are the absolute heart of this business. Without the heart, the body shuts down, okay? And what happens during slow times are these factories go through trouble, and it sucks. I feel bad for them, and I try to do everything I can to remain consistent, but let's not forget, I just got here. I'm learning the ropes still, and no one was willing to, reach their hand out and say, hey, let me train my competition. And that's understandable, but, we overbought. That's why we have this huge collection. And now some of the factories that we worked with, I can no longer throw them. So there's this whole balance in our industry of we want the best cigars. And in order to do that, we have to have factories running at some sort of medium to high capacity at all times. And unfortunately, when things like this happen that slow down the market, they're left in a bad spot. And so I think going forward, I'll be keeping that in my mind about being able to be consistent for these factories. And that's a big part of why I'm trying to drive business to the cigar industry, is because we want to keep this thing going. A lot of people are going down to PCA right now. It's in New Orleans, of all places. It had been there, I think, 10 years prior. PCA always throws around this idea that they're gonna flirt with a consumer day or something. And I think the constituents of PCA always reject that completely because this is their trade show. This isn't for consumers or even prosumers. This is for shops to go there and do their buying for the year. And it's a great thing for the industry. And I think that there is a bunch of different consumer options, but they don't run like that convention does. There's something special about that where the brands kind of all come there and I don't think that there ever will be. I think the camaraderie that we want to have with brands and brand owners, it just has to look a little different than that. But I don't think it should be like some of the consumer conventions either. And I hope I'm not confusing anyone, but basically, I would love to see in this industry a way for consumers to meet brands in not a cattle call situation. You know, and that's the thing is most of these festivals, hi, nice to meet you, hey, let me take a picture, you know, and it's like, that's not, I don't even want to do that that's not how I want to meet people. I want to build relationships with people. I want to know my consumers. So when you email me a week later, I remember exactly who you are. And I can't do that if I'm just shaking your hand and giving you a free cigar. So in my mind, I'm always thinking about how could we do this thing, you know, with consumers and companies coming together and actually get to know each other and have a good weekend or whatever. And that was the idea with PrivadaCon, and it works to a degree. A lot of my brands and a lot of my members get to really hang out during those times. We're doing the LCA Hungry Herf. I feel like this is like a really long run on. I think I want to go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty interested the whole time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that you're talking about it, at least. And I think a lot of people are going to like that too.
Yeah. It's just hard because I want to have, you know, the right voice for the industry. It's not my job to speak for this industry and no one's appointed me to speak for the industry, but at the same time, like, this industry has a very hard time communicating, and I understand why, because there's no central place. It used to be aficionado, you know, and there's no like central place. And then with the algorithm and everything, it's very hard to communicate messages to people and let consumers that really care like understand what's going on. So I think a few things that I just want to put out there is that everything we do in Privada Cigar Club and with the Limited Cigar Association is open to other members of our industry. Now, if you're a brand new company, you're just trying to get on, you have no budget, please, good luck. I wish you the best of luck. I want it to work out for you, but you know, we're here. When I say we, like the brands that have employees that are doing this to feed their families, they're not taking a shot at it, they're here like, if you're one of those brands, Privada's for you. Let's get past all the BS. Let's get past he's bad. I'm not bad for the industry. I think that's become very clear. I'm very good for this industry. And so we're here to help. I was originally set up as a marketing company, but a lot of you rejected me or us, and I had to go around you and go direct to the manufacturers. And while I believe the manufacturers are the heart of this industry, I also believe that there are room for brands, and we have to keep cigars cool, because they are cool. They're the coolest. And the cooler they look, when I say cool, I mean socially acceptable. Like, it's something you do, man. It's a brief moment. It's an approachable luxury. Like, if we lose that, we lose an industry. We watch all of our factories close down, and we watch it become like something that's very like rarely happens, and that wouldn't be cool. So I'm here for the greater good, and if you want to join forces and come to things like the LCA Hungry Herf, where we're ascending upon the Rust Belt, a place in our country that could use some vibrant, gatherings, and we're going there in the name of cigars, and we're going to take over Main Street in Hubbard, Ohio, which is basically Youngstown, and we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna bring commerce to the area. We're gonna bring love to the area, and we're gonna share. And I'm just saying, if you're in my industry, whether you think you're my competition or not, I don't know, but like any brands, like you guys want to join or come to these things, you are all more than welcome to come on down. This is a great way to meet consumers and to create that camaraderie. I really believe that this wall of like unapproachable brands it's lame. It's tired. That was cool in the 90s when celebrity was, we don't care, we want to know the people that are making our products, whether your hands are actually making it or you're curating that process, we want to know you. So all of you are more than welcome. My dream for the cigar industry is for us to have events like this LCA Hungry Herf, where we can go into a place that, needs some love and, bring 1,000 people, 1,500 people, kind of like the Great Smoke or something like that, or a Big Smoke or whatever, but it doesn't cost $1,500 and you're not forced into, things but you get there and you get to meet all your cigar heroes and stuff. So tariffs are not good for our industry. I wish this would have been a more well thought out thing where there were industries like ours that you can't do it here. You just can't. And maybe that, those details, there's probably too many industries to think about every single one and how a tariff would affect. Sometimes you just gotta, do the thing and see how it works out. And, everyone's freaking out, but it's brand new and we just gotta see what happens if they're gonna stay. And so, but for our industry, yes, this will raise some prices. How soon will the prices go up? I think you're looking at probably a year. Look, cigar sales were already slowing down. When you see these big publicly traded companies telling you that their cigar imports are up year after year after COVID, okay, so we just saw one of the biggest pumps ever, but you're still going up. So when you see that's not real. What's real is talk to your local tobacconist. He'll tell you, he or she will tell you, yeah, we had a big fever pitch coming down into a little bit more of a normal time. The industry's in good health, but we always want to do better. Why? So we can keep these factories alive, so we can keep this culture alive. And I started this thing called the Warriors on our, you gotta just email me, subject line Warrior. If you have 5 minutes a day to dedicate to social media in a constructive way, I think we can have a huge impact. And I wanna be very clear here. I'm forming the Warriors and I'm going to be very careful to not make it about me or just about Privada. This isn't how we're gonna necessarily, we can use our voice to promote cool releases and things like that, right? But at the same time, we wanna do it to make an impact, to change culture. This isn't just about me selling cigars. This is about us doing things that are good for the entire industry. And I think the way that I can repay some of you warriors out there is by maybe allowing you like password protected access to cigars that we have here at like whatever price I paid for them. So, anytime you're shopping on the site, you can also add things for really good prices because, and you'll be the only person that access. I'm still formulating this in my mind. I'm still formulating the causes. I think the first cause would be we need to rethink cigar packaging. None of you are buying boxes anymore. Most of you are not buying boxes anymore. Most of you are not expecting a wooden box, and most of you are not keeping them. Please, I know there's a few of you out there that do, but is it worth putting out 10,000 wooden boxes that could have been used to build something? You could build a house with this stuff. Like, what are we doing here? Okay? So that's that. This is a little update. We're gonna keep doing these as we go along. Sorry for ranting, but I just want everyone to know, especially my industry mates or people that are in this industry with me, that I'm here to help, not hurt. And when you see us doing these things and you want to get involved, you are more than welcome to, as long as you come here with good intentions. Hashtag we are Privada, hashtag we are family, hashtag we are the industry. Peace.